What if the solution to growing your business was about systems? Hello, everyone. I'm Jonathan Probert.
Hey, I'm Jonathan's co-host, Laura Franco. Welcome to Systemized.
We're here to talk to successful entrepreneurs about the system that helped them grow their business. It's what we wanted to know when we started ours, and it's what's going to help you build yours. And today, we want to share some information about the new System Success Pro guide. It's something I developed when I started this business to help my clients with an easy way to get started moving toward that business freedom, like what we like to talk about on the show.
So, you guys, this guide, when Jonathan first put this together and I started going through the steps, I started to see the. I want to share a little story with you about a lot of the business coaching I got in the beginning of building my business. It kind of went something like, stay out of the weeds. And that gets said a lot, right? Stay out of the weeds of your business. Get back to doing what you were meant to do as the CEO. And we all nod our heads at it and we kind of get it. But the coaching never really went into the how beyond get better at delegating and or hire a VA. And so while I also would nod my head at that advice and I got it, when I started to see Jonathan's guide, I got the how finally. And that's what I mean today by I started to see the light about this. I started to figure out what I was going to do. So, Jonathan, tell me a little bit more about this guide. I want you to get people excited about what is in this.
Sure. The whole guide is a way to start systemizing your business. It goes from the first step, which is the master task list, and that breaks down your five-stage customer journey into marketing, sales, onboarding, delivery, and then finally retention and reactivation.
And so, you guys, step one, this master task list, I want to tell you that if you just take this guide and you do this one step one, if you just start there and you begin to make a master task list for your business, you'll start to really understand what's possible when you just get that out of your head and onto paper, onto your computer. That one little first step was like, oh, I wanted to tell all my friends, go make your master list, you guys, because it started to give me that clarity. So, how about step two?
Step two builds on step one. When you have all of your processes mapped out from step one, you get into step two, which is SOP lists. And that's where we actually take each process that we mapped out earlier. So say we had LinkedIn posts in our marketing section. An SOP list will build out from LinkedIn posts and actually write down all the tasks that you do to actually post something on LinkedIn.
So, this step two, the SOP lists, this further refines and structures how you're going to get systemized, honestly. So it's lists under lists. I've always been a list maker. I love making my lists and checking them off, right? But what this did was again gave me super powered clarity about what kinds of instructions we needed to start to create to get me out of the weeds. Like again, people just say get out of the weeds and they don't tell you how. And so this SOP list and now step three is going to be a big part of that. So tell me about step three.
Step three is the actual creation of standard operating procedures or SOPs. We take step one, we build that map of larger processes. Then we take step two, the SOP list, break it down into a map of tasks. And then with that, you have a whole tree of what you actually need to document, which leads us to the step three is actually documenting them into SOPs so that we can hand them over to a VA or an employee and they can follow that instead of you and do the task for you.
Okay, so creating SOPs will give you this sense of relief. And as you check these off and you get them done and you organize them in some kind of library, right? It's how Systems Success Pro was born, is we wanted to create this house, an organizational system. to give you a place to have everything organized. And that was one of the first things Jonathan created when he created the business. But then I started to come back to him and be like, dude, the SOP writing is going to take me forever. Like because I, with the publishing company, you guys, my master task list is complicated. And one program within my business, our collaborative book publishing, is extremely complicated. So even though I had made my lists, it started to look a little overwhelming. And that is where I was like, Jonathan, what else can you do for me? Like, how can you come in and help me out with this SOP creation? I can feel the relief. I've started to make some of them. I've used a little AI to help me make some of them, but it's quite a big task. And so I just wanted to mention really quick here in the middle of step 3 with this creating your SOPs, that you've got some pretty cool services where you can come in, grab my hand, and get a whole lot of this work done. Anything you want to tell me about that real quick before we move to step 4?
Yeah, I mean, I explain it in the guide as well, is that you might be the person who is good at the task and does it regularly, but you don't need to be the one who actually documents it. You can record yourself doing, and I explain it in the guide on how and what to record yourself doing. But you can record yourself completing a whole bunch of tasks and then hand that over to uh, an AI from a transcript, or with a VA to document them into actual documents.
Okay, so step 4 is a big one. Tell me about step 4.
Sure. Step 4 is 8 founder systems to actually build yourself out of the operations of the business. It goes over, again, 8 different systems to use to start feeling more comfortable delegating, communicating, having employees be able to approve things or escalate things when needed, how to start automating, and how to finally replace yourself as the founder.
So you guys, step 4 is huge. And this is one of the newest sections in the guide since Jonathan originally created it. He went back in to enhance it even further. And these 8 systems they're amazing. And it's a lot of information that's just going to catapult the way that you think about how your business can run without you, where it should run without you, and how you can start to remove yourself. So one of the newest pieces for me is, I'll give you the example, is when we did our master task list, one of the pieces of that task was that we were to go to all of the things on this list, put an A or a B. And we wanted business owners to understand that the A's are the things only you can do. If I teach a workshop, only Laura is going to teach that workshop. Eventually I might train people to teach it. But at this stage in my business, it's a Laura task. That's an A task. The B tasks are everything else that can be delegated. But you added a C, and I want you to talk a little bit more about this new aspect. I'm just sort of wrapping my head around it myself.
Sure. We added a C, and you'll notice in that section, we also talk about not just tasks, but also decisions as well. Yes, there will be tasks to do that you can delegate. There's also decisions that you can delegate as well. It's a very similar concept, and that's why it's bundled into the section with tasks. But ABC, we had the A and B before as a exercise on what you could delegate, but we've also added a C section where it is either automate or remove, which basically means, should we be doing this task, or should a human be doing this task at all? And it's either we automate it or we remove it completely because it's not necessary.
So I gotta mention how you took me through this, because when we did the front end lead generation onboarding of a new author, you guys, and I sat with Jonathan one day and we went through the map of that process. And I was telling him, he was just asking me to tell him on what are all the steps, what happens when somebody comes into your world, and what happens next and next and next. And when we onboard a new lead author in our expert book collaborations, oh my gosh. So first of all, I didn't realize how many steps there were until I really had to like verbalize them and get them out of me. But then Jonathan created a visual, a map of that process. I know some of you guys know mind maps, and I don't know what else you call them, like with the little bubbles and diamonds and how the little arrows go from one step to the next. But what I want to say about that is like, I don't have that brain, y'all. Like some of you I know don't have that brain. Some of you do, but I do not. And so when I partnered with somebody like Jonathan, who has that kind of brain, all the ahas started to happen for me because I could visually see the process and the people who were in charge of that step of the process. And now the C, the ABC, the C part of this thing we're talking about right now, that light bulb went off pretty brightly because I immediately could see where the step could easily be automated. I was actually paying a human to do it when no human needed to be doing it. It could just be an automatic process that happened, right? An email gets sent here, a thank you gets automated here, a contract gets sent there. And oh my gosh. So I got excited again about how this could be even refined further.
Exactly. And I have one more thing to add there with automation. There's a big trend of these AI workflows and agents, and yes, they are useful. There's a lot of good use cases for them. I don't mean that's not what I mean initially when I say automation. There's a lot of small automations that you can implement that are very useful. Like a lot of our calendar schedulers have auto reminders built right into them, and that's an automation. It's all the small stuff that it's like, should I be sending an email? Like, should a person be sending an email? Probably not if it can be automated, if it's the same template over and over. Obviously, a custom email can't really be automated, but a templated invoice or a templated reminder or templated onboarding email that can be automatically sent just as soon as something else triggers it.
So in the 8 founder systems, were there any other ones that you specifically wanted to talk about that were a little bit more new?
Not particularly, but I do want to talk about them as a whole. A lot of founders have a big struggle with the letting go of their operations. It's like, oh, I can do it better, so I'm not gonna let go of it, and that's what keeps them stuck. And that's initially what the AB part was about, was helping them realize that you have a lot of stuff that you can delegate. But talking to our previous guest, Anthony, after the show, he talked to me about a concept called expertise versus excellence. Sorry. And what he explained was, you are excellent at everything in the business just because you've been doing it for so long without much help. So you're excellent at posting on LinkedIn. You're excellent at how to sell your product or service. You're excellent at delivering it, and you're excellent at following up and trying to retain the client, at least hopefully. But you're also an expert in the product or service that you provide. That is why you created your business, because you had some special skill that you monetized and made a business out of. And so, rhetorical question for you here: would it not be more beneficial and more profitable for you to spend more time on what you are an expert in rather than what you have excellence in? And so the systems of this guide try to build a foundation that you can build your business on, that allow you to create a team around you so you are only in your expertise. And so we have stuff like the delegation framework, which helps you start delegating tasks out to a VA or an employee. We have things like communication rules, approval matrix, and escalation protocol, which teach you how to create a communication handbook and be like, hey, we send these messages once a day, once a month, once a week, that kind of thing. Never send these messages, that kind of thing. Um, we teach you how to let people under you approve specifically with money. So somebody at the very bottom can approve something up to like, say, $200, and then the next level up to 1,000, and then founder level is like 30,000, or like managers 30,000, and then founder is the only one who can do 30,000 plus. We have your escalation protocol, which says, hey, if it's this kind of thing, don't escalate, just fix it. If it's something that has a bit more priority, like it's money involved or legal, escalate it a level. Uh, or if it can't, like nobody can solve it, escalate it a level, that kind of thing. It goes into the systems also go into keeping metrics and how to automate. Um, the metrics go on a 12 metric system where we have three in each category of marketing, sales, operations, and collection or finance. And uh, the automation section tells you which places to automate first. So your admin, then your marketing, then your operations. And finally, it helps the founder actually test if their business can run without them with a replacement test system.
Which is scary. Not too scary. Actually, it's pretty cool because when the test goes well, then you know something is going right. And again, you've given us the how in such detail and thorough detail that like I'm finally starting to understand the answer to like how do you grow and scale a business? Literally, the answer to that is right here in this guide, you guys. This is the answer. This is the kind of coaching my first coaches should have been giving me to start with. Document everything, get it organized, get yourself out of the equation as much as possible, right? All of these details, the how of these details are in the guide. Get the guide, y'all. Just go down. The link is below. Grab it. Jonathan will deliver it to you. And also just quickly mention, if you haven't seen the episode with Anthony Englert, where we talked to him about all of those awesome things, you guys, when he came on the show, please go find Anthony's episode. You're going to love it. Anthony is the founder of ALFA, Alpha Advisory, and he spent 15 years at Goldman Sachs. He's a smart guy, and he's got a lot of really amazing advice to give. So, okay, so there's last thing on this is there's a few new workbooks and templates within the guide that help us take this and really make it practical. You're really giving us some nice tools in addition to the information. So I was going to have you tell me about the workbooks and templates if you want, but also I'm kind of just interested, you've been working on this for a while. What motivated you to update the guide? Was what do you want people to know about that extra information that's in there now?
Yeah. For the workbooks, I wanted to provide actual uh, resources for people to go and start. Um, the master task list is a bit complicated based on what you see if you're not a visual person. So I created two options there, a Canva link to actually do that visual map if you prefer it, or a Google Doc link so you can have like the bulleted list version. It has a little example in there as well to get you started with the marketing section. I provided an SOP template and an example filled out one so you can actually understand what goes into the SOP and have something to fill out as well for your very first one, as well as a that my prompt for using a transcript to create that SOPs in there as well for you to use. And finally, within our systems, I provided a little workbook on the information metrics dashboard thing, where you just have something to start jotting down which metrics you want to do, taking notes on them, and how you actually want to start implementing the tracking into your business. So just all of those as free extra items to actually go and start, systemizing your. Uh, my motivation to update the guide was this. It's that yes, you can document all of your business processes all the way down into SOPs, but a lot of the systems are not very present uh, present knowledge. You would have to go and actually be studying your systems to actually go understand them and implement them. And my whole goal with the people I work with is to help them help founders buy time back in their business so they actually can go and live the life that they wanted with uh, from the creation of their business. Whatever they created their business for, I want them to go and be able to do uh, by getting them time back within their business. And so just teaching uh, other founders about these systems that I added to the guide, hopefully they can get one or two pieces from it, maybe not the whole eight if they're not totally ready for it, but at least one or two, and be like, hey, I like that. I understand it. I'm going to implement it into my business. And when I do, my business will be better off for it. I'll get maybe a couple hours back in my week, and then I can go start implementing the next two, you know?
Yeah. So the guide is a game changer. You guys go get the guide. The link is below. But, to have somebody to organize it in such a way where it takes you step by step. I mean, the information is out there all over the place. We know that now. But Jonathan, you've created this guide in such an awesome step by step fashion to help us build on the foundational steps and then take it all the way to more complex steps. This could easily, we could be paying for this workbook, you guys, but it's free. So go grab it and start, and grab your VA and get them on board reading through it, and start to have them help you out, right? But there's some other things that you can check out. Systemsuccesspro.com. You can get a discovery call with Jonathan and really talk about your needs. Maybe
Yep.
you want to come in and do one of the 4-week workshops. I really want to give you an awesome shout out for that, because when we work together once a week for 4 weeks. You did the mapping. I had some major ahas. I put my whole front end onboarding system process into place and took out some steps. In other words, you delivered on the promise of giving me my time back. And it seemed so easy for you to map that out. When I'm in it every day, I don't always see all of those opportunities, and it starts to get overwhelming. And this is what leads to burnout, you guys, right? So sign up for one of the 4-week workshops. It's an incredible value. There are other services. Jonathan, if you want to tell them a little bit about any of those, go for it. But I just want to encourage everyone to start with grabbing their free guide.
Mm-hmm. Sure. The 4-week workshops he's referring to is our business systems optimization. And with that workshop, it's just me and you one-on-one. Or if you have a group, you have a discount for 4. But we work on finding a bottleneck in your business, looking at the process, mapping it out, and then going through that map and finding the inefficiencies and creating an optimization plan for you to go and implement. And we talk about automation and hiring in there with delegation and stuff. But the goal is to actually squeeze all of the juice out of it in the most the easiest way to optimize before and actually going spending big dollars on improving it. Um, so with automation and delegation in there, we're not going to look at some fancy like $10,000 automation to go and implement or hiring an entire employee to handle it. Hopefully, your existing VA can go and handle something in there with how we optimize it. But the goal of that is to optimize it so much that you are not spending as much time on it and it breaks that bottleneck and the throughput of your business is improved. We also offer SOP writing sessions. You get a total of 4 hours spread how you want. And we just sit down together. I'll guide you through recording your SOPs. I'll go and take the video and transcript and turn them into actual documents for you. You can also get just a free discovery call if you want to talk about it. And we are working on a couple digital products on top of the guide, like a SOP pack and a couple free automation kits so you can go and plug and play as you will.
So you guys, we just were motivated to come on today and talk about this guide a little bit more so you really understand what you're getting. I'm in love with systems. They were the answer to that question. How do I grow my business without burning out? This is it. Systems is the answer. So I guess we'll wrap up the episode and just give you one more shout out, Jonathan, for all of what you're doing for small business. Your ripple is big because when we have an answer to growing and scaling the awesome work that we're doing in the world, and we can keep ourselves flowing and healthy and getting our time back, that's everything. That's world changing kind of stuff. So I so appreciate what you've been doing for me and my business. And I know there are a lot of business owners who are going to feel that freedom as it arrives with their systems too. So thank you.
Definitely happy to help. And I want everything that I want for myself is what I want for my clients. And that's the time freedom, the money freedom, and just spending less effort in your business so you can go and live a happy, healthy life doing what you want to do. I think that's all. Go grab your guide in the description. It's ready to go. You'll have a little email sent to you. But thanks for watching, everyone. And remember, for epic business growth, get systemized.